All right, welcome back. Continuing coverage of all the craziness going on. Antifa is taking over cities. They're lighting on police cars on fire. They're looting stores. And this is just going on right out there in public. Cops are overwhelmed. They're overmanned. They're outnumbered. And it's going on in New York. It's going on around the country. It's also going on in Atlanta, Georgia. And somebody who's got, a lot to say about what the effects could be on the COVID crisis joins us right now. Dr. Bindiya Gandhi joins us. She's a family physician down in Atlanta, Georgia. And Frank is with us also. Dr. Gandhi, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me, John.
So obviously you're in Atlanta. I know you're outside of the town where they're looting and stuff, but suddenly it's coincidental that COVID has, disappeared from the news. But you think that all these riots and all these people all congregated is going to cause another big outbreak?
I do, actually. I'm actually really concerned about this because from what we're seeing, people are not wearing masks. They're really in close proximity to each other. It's kind of like COVID doesn't even exist to the people rioting. And I really suspect that in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, that we're going to see a rise in new COVID cases, especially in this younger population that believe that they are immune. Personally, I think, the pandemic has also played a lot into some of the rioting. So it is, again, the younger population. And what I've seen is, they've been at home for the last 2 months. They've kind of been like us, social distancing as well. And I think, protesting is a way for them to get out, but they don't realize that it comes with risks.
It's very interesting. Dr. Gandhi, let me ask you about the issue of masks or face coverings, which is something that I think a lot of Americans have been confused from the mixed messaging from public health officials about. On Friday, initially we were told, don't wear a mask. Then we were told you don't need to wear a mask. Then we were told you can wear a mask, but it may not be doing anything for you. Then we were told everybody must wear a mask no matter what. Yeah. On Friday, the World Health Organization came out and said, no. We're not recommending that you wear a mask unless you're symptomatic or you're caring for someone as a medical professional. That goes at odds with what we're hearing from the CDC.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to take from all this mixed messaging and all this confusion on the issue of face coverings?
Listen, I understand why it can be so confusing, but I think the biggest take-home message right now is we understand that the virus is still alive. It's still traveling. It's still making its way around, and we need to protect ourselves. So not just should you wear a mask if you're caring for loved ones. Of course, you should be wearing a mask then, but you need to protect yourself. Most of us are now, the countries are now opening slowly, and that means most people are back to work if they're not completely already yet. If you're going to go get a haircut, that kind of thing, you need to wear a mask. If you're going to be going to the grocery store, you need to wear a mask. I think it's important that we all wear a mask. Right now, the only population that we're saying that should not wear a mask is if you're under the age of 2. But other than that, if you're out in public, I think you need to wear a mask. And that's just to be safe, because respiratory droplets, I had read that respiratory droplets actually go up to 13 feet. And we're saying social distancing is 6 feet. So here we are saying that, we just need to protect ourselves and we need to wear a mask.
Wow. So in our final couple of minutes here, Dr. Gandhi, June happens to be National Men's Health Month.
Yes.
Right here in good old Staten Island, New York. Yesterday, Frank and I had some barbers come over my house and we did haircuts in the backyard. So me and Frankie started a little early on, getting our grooming in shape. We got some haircuts, but what do men need to know about what they got to look out for their own health?
For men's health, and I'm so glad you brought this up, because, there's a lot of things that we still need to not ignore. You need to make sure that you're getting your prostate cancer screening yearly, okay? Especially after the age of 40. Please make sure you don't forget that. The other thing is heart disease. Heart disease is still prevalent. So don't forget about the things, that's important. If you're a smoker, we worry about, lung cancer, we worry about all that stuff. But the biggest things that we worry for men is prostate cancer and heart disease. And so even though we're in a pandemic, even though there's rioting going on, you need to make sure that you're getting your yearly physicals so you can keep yourself healthy.
All right. Well, Dr. Gandhi, thank you so much. We're going to check in with you again next week. If that's okay, will you give us a little update on what's happening in Georgia and keep us up to speed on what our men in the audience need to know throughout the month of June?
Sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Gandhi. So, Frankie, I didn't think about that, but, if you think about this now, these cities, they got to go through these phases to get unlocked the next phase. Now, they allow the rioting and the looting and everything going on. These kids are close to each other. The numbers spike. And if the numbers spike, it stops the clock on the reopening. So we could actually get locked up again. 10 seconds. We're going to come back after this. I'm sorry about that. Quick break. Back after this with John Iannarelli, retired FBI agent and author, right here after this.
Most financially successful people own assets that make them money while they sleep. They usually own real estate, vehicles, intellectual property, equipment, and more. These assets make passive income through leases, subscriptions, royalties, and fees that don't require time, energy, or attention. Your assets do the work, and you collect the check. So what kind of asset should you buy? The most valuable companies in the world, like Amazon, Google, and Apple, all have the same thing in common. They make a majority of their revenue from data technology assets, storing, collecting, processing, and providing data. It's all about the data. What if you could own data tech assets with a low upfront cost? Introducing Apex, a proprietary technology built to process and mine data and render artificial intelligence and 3D gaming at exceptionally high rates. Apex Tech has partnered with SafeTech, a subsidiary of a publicly traded company called InvestView. SafeTech's business model leverages Apex technology to disrupt the multi-trillion-dollar data tech industry, giving you the competitive advantage. SafeTech's growth strategy is to capture a significant share of the market. SafeTech will enter into a 60-month lease with owners of Apex Systems. Why would they do that? Why not just buy all the equipment themselves? The same reason most companies lease instead of own, to scale quickly without the upfront costs and for the tax benefits. So how do you get started? You purchase an Apex system. Then you can lease it to SafeTech for 60 months at a rate of $500 per month. That's a total of $30,000 paid to you over the life of the lease. So what's your responsibility besides purchasing the Apex system? Nothing. During the lease, SafeTech is responsible for any maintenance costs to keep things running for you. Just collect a check every month for the next 60 months. This tremendous financial opportunity positions you to follow the strategies of the financially successful. You can leverage data technology to produce passive income that generates revenue without your time, energy, or effort. This is what is meant by creating multiple streams of income. But the opportunity to participate will not last forever. If this concept fits your financial goals, take action today while you still have the chance.